And so living by value is fine, and it's really important to know our values, but that isn't to say that that's going to be the answer when you're feeling insanely low or flat. You are going to want to do something that's not good for your gut. And that's okay too. Makes total sense. It's just
Yeah,
remembering that it makes sense. Of course, why wouldn't you do that? And I think that it makes sense line is incredible.
exactly. And because we're in a state of overwhelm so much of the time, what the coaching can do can give you that space to think about how you might mitigate for the future. So for accepting that sometimes things aren't going to go the way that you want them to, sometimes things aren't going to be perfect. Sometimes you're just going to want to have a ready meal because that is all the spoons you have left. And if you've got one in the freezer, then yes, though that can be the time when I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not panicking. I'm not overwhelmed. I can just say, right, today is the day that I have my frozen peas.
Yeah, it's true. And you don't, the whole idea of pushing and forcing, you don't want to be doing that within your own psyche either. Just like, no, stop doing that. We have to do this. This language is you've got to be very careful with that. And it's just treading that line. I think that's why it's so important just to maybe at least have a few sessions with somebody just to get a sense of them seeing, helping you see how your brain works. That's a good place to start, how your thoughts unfold, rather than trying it. You can't, there's only so much reading you can do. Say, yeah, I'm going to try that. And you can't, you get frustrated and upset with yourself. And then you just give up. I'm just ND. I guess that's just it. This is the best I'm going to get. This is what life looks like. And maybe acceptance is powerful to a point. Um, but who's to say? Everyone's a little bit different. But I think compassionate acceptance and be able to move forward looks very different to give up acceptance, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. I think accept in my for my language, acceptance is a very positive thing because as you said, some people are kind of fighting, fighting, fighting all the time. And actually, I suppose I would say this, I've come from a bit of a Buddhist background, but once you kind of stop fighting it and start like, okay, what have we actually got here? What can we actually do with what we've got? And how can we take the judgment out of that and just it is, I say it is what it is a lot, but a lot of people say it is what it is, but actually it is what it is. I mean, it is like a very true statement. So taking the judgment out and saying, right, what are we working with? What can we do? What can we predict? To what extent can we predict things like energy levels, um, activities that we have to do, work-life balance, those kinds of things? Can we predict different times of the day, week, or month when we're going to have higher and lower levels of energy? Are there ways that we can kind of mitigate